Alright, so it's definitely been a while since I've made a fashion trends video, but you know, here we are. I think in this past week I've found a lot of brands, a lot of looks, a lot of genres, like some more sub-genres within streetwear and or fashion in 2022 that I think is worth talking about and has gotten pretty popular. So you already know what the drill is. It's your boy Keezy. It ain't easy being Keezy. Let's start the video.
Ryan Little.
Alright, so without wasting any time, I would say the first topic that we have is going to be the preppy look. Alright, I mean, I'm titling it that for now. I don't know what other people are calling this, but it is. It's like preppy slash grown-up hype beast. And that's not in a derogatory form. And it looks something like this and kind of like what you're seeing here. And I've just been seeing more people wearing white collared shirts that are, I mean, the color's not that thick, but they're white collared shirts buttoned down with ties, and they're mixing it with either leather jackets or jean jackets, or sometimes with slacks and or jeans. And to me, this is the grown-up look of what people came from before. It's like, you guys remember these looks, and then it became kind of like this, and then it became something like that, and then now we've kind of evolved, and then you even have brands like ALD being a very mature brand. It's like grown-up hype beast type beat, and people are getting older now, right? A lot of us are not 18, 19 years old anymore. Some of us are not 23, 24. Some of us are approaching our 30s, and some of us spend so much money on clothes that, yeah, we still, you know, like and enjoy to buy some of these brands, but at the same time, some of y'all are trying to go on dates, and a lot of girls, they don't really care about those brands, my guy. It's just to keep it a thousand. They don't care. Like, they just care if you smell good and whatever. And again, this being a more mature, more grown-up look, it's really just kind of been surfacing on my search feed. And if I were to just give any feedback on it as far as what I think about it, I think that it's a really great trend, and I think it's a really good evolution within I don't want to say menswear, because it's like mixing, you know, street brands that we know, like high street brands that we know within this prep look. But I'm all for it, because I used to do sales, and you know, I've done door-to-door sales, I've done cold call sales, like calling you to sell you business insurance, I've done direct sales, I've done sales meetings where you sit in front of 30-40 people and try to sell people on your service. I've done all of those, you know, and during those times I had to dress up. I had to have the whole nine. I used to have a suit, blazer, slacks, long socks, for Ferragamo loafers, Versace tie. You know, you got to do your hair and all that. Like, I'm with it. I like it, and I like the direction that it's going, and I like the blend, and I like the mix, because sometimes if you're suited down, you know what I'm saying, it could be a little bit overbearing for like business casual. But the look that I'm talking about, this preppy look, is, again, it's a mix between business casual but more leaning on the casual side of things. It's like very normcore Japanese civilian life, getting off of work. And if you're not from Japan, if you're not from Asia, it's more like in the US, it's like Wells Fargo personal banker or something like that, you know? Anyways, that's the trend. That's what I'm calling it for now. Maybe you guys have a different title for it, or maybe this is not even popping up on your feed. I don't know. But we're gonna move on to the second trend here. So adding on to this like preppy style and this preppy look, we have a lot of leather integrations to jackets and to pants, but more specifically, I'm seeing it in the jacket area. And I would say one person to kind of blame and point the finger at of kind of who's starting the trends again would be Kanye West, of course, putting on like those big boots, those big leather boots, and then putting on the Balenciaga leather jacket, and then of course other brands, which a lot of the Korean streetwear brands that I've been following have kind of taken those looks, morphed them into something else, and then they create leather jackets. And now I'm just seeing leather jackets kind of all over the place, and I'm not going to go too much into it. What I do hope for and I do wish for, because I'm more so like the Y2K side of things, and I like the 2000 era, and there was a lot of leather pieces from back then. One to mention is something like the Arcteryx jackets from back in the day. I still love Arcteryx, and I still follow them from time to time. I'm hoping they bring back some of those really old Arcteryx jackets, and maybe they have, and I've skipped on it, but I like that look, even with like the race car look to it and whatnot. And I'm hoping there's some more morphing that goes on in there where it's not just plain leather jackets. But regardless, though, I might need me a leather jacket. I might need me one of them. Them fuckers kind of go. I'm seeing the styles come out, whether it be fast fashion or kind of more lesser known brands, and then some of the bigger brands might even start, you know, bringing them and integrating them soon. But I'm hoping there's some nice ones that I can pick up in the future. But as far as a trending topic, I would say leather, just period. There's more leather everything at this point. Yeah, let's move on. So recently I've had like some conversations with people, and anytime I meet up with people, I'm always asking them like, what do you think is like the next best thing? And I've heard a lot of people say the art wave. And in the beginning I was like, the art wave, what the heck is that? And I'll just show you some like photos, maybe videos, and I think maybe TikTok is also taking this trend to a whole new height. But the way that I interpret the art wave is people now are taking the word cosplay and really kind of bending and twisting it where it's still wearable at the end of the day. It's maybe doesn't look like this type of cosplay, but more so like this. And then people will take either anime characters or whatever it is and try to kind of replicate what they do, but using designer brand names that we might know, or just like common names that we know within streetwear and stuff like that, which I find pretty interesting, because honestly, this is kind of no different than how people clone people out, right? I mean, you could be like a Kanye clone, but really Kanye he's a real person. But in this regard, people are doing it for like anime characters or cartoon characters that they've noticed, and just trying to repeat those looks for their wardrobe, that's pretty dope. It's respectable. And this is more so for those who want to experiment more, I would say. And if that's your thing, that's your thing. And another particular look that I think evolved from the art wave and also from COVID, the people were wearing the mask because of COVID, and then the mask turned into balaclavas, which we've talked about before. The balaclavas started turning into like actual like animation with like horns and spikes, and people wanting to bring out their inner avatar. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of brands now are more focused on NFTs. You got people like Bobby Hundreds and Ambush, and they're really focused and dived in. They damn near want to be digital. They don't even want to be in the real world anymore. And not just specifically them, but a lot of people. And they want to have their own NFT in whatever it is. And the balaclavas are a good way for people to like really put something on that's like kind of cartoonish and is already kind of integrated in that space. And I'm really kind of seeing it. My idea behind it or my opinion on it, love the balaclava mask for sure. Love them. And as far as the art wave goes, I think it's something very positive for people. I think people can step outside. You know what I mean? A lot of us play video games, or a lot of y'all play video games that's watching this. You guys always want to kind of be like the characters. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. It's a good reference point. So let's just move on to the next trend. So I know so far I've kind of covered actual genres or particular fits, but we're also going to talk about shoes, and not necessarily sneakers and kind of that, but you know, in 2018 we all ran through the dad shoe movement, right? It was like the dad shoe, bulky shoe, which then in turn turned into like ugly shoe movement with like stuff like this. It was like purposefully nasty looking, which in turn is like art, I guess, maybe. Or depending on how you want to interpret it and depending on what brands that you follow. Then now, you know, here we are in 2022, brands, of course, like Balenciaga or Maison Margiela or Kerwin Frost, for that matter, doing the collaboration with Adidas. It went from dad shoe, bulky shoe, ugly shoe to just plain weird and strange. And then Balenciaga just keeps killing it, bro. I mean, as much as I might not wear some of the really strange shoes that they come out with, but they're just strange at the end of the day, and people are still buying it, and it still sells out. I mean, if it didn't sell, I mean, would they continue to keep making it so crazy looking? But yeah, we got all of this, and I'm just gonna call this trend the weird shoe movement, and the more weird, I guess, maybe the better. And since people are already in that art wave side of things, if you're not more so like the preppy Japanese Americana guy, whatever, and you want to push that to the side, and you're more so someone that likes to experiment, I mean, this trend is meant for you. You know what I mean? And of course, the boots. I was gonna give it its own category, but the boots, the more so the puddle boots, are going crazy. We've seen a lot of celebrities putting these things on, and to me, my opinion, you might have heard what I said in a previous vlog, but I think that I've seen people pull it off, and the black either Bottega boots and the Yaga boots, those ones have kind of grown on me over the past couple months. And am I going to buy them? Not the Red Wings. You could keep the Red Wings. I've seen some people pull off the Red Wings. They look cool on other people, but not for me. If I could find a very good everyday black boot, maybe a little bit more like bigger, bulkier boot, I'll probably go for it. I'm waiting for other brands to kind of come out with something. The Elite ones that came out not too long ago, or a while ago, I don't even know when they came out. Those ones are really cool too. But I'm still waiting at the moment to find one for myself. But it's trending, or it's big for this space. So let's move on. So Gorpcore, and I know a lot of people probably have heard this a million times from other content creators on the platform, but I'm not going to necessarily say just Gorpcore. I'm going to say Arcteryx, because Arcteryx has really had a phenomenal year from 2021 till now. I mean, of course, the brand has always been around, and I know people are probably going to watch this like, the brand has always been there. I've always worn it. It's like, yeah, people in the Pacific Northwest have always worn stuff like this, or anywhere where it's cold and they go hiking or they're in the outdoors or whatever. They wear a lot of Arcteryx. But in the cultural zeitgeist of streetwear, it really has stamped its name. And I don't really know who made it popular. Maybe it was like Drake, or when Virgil was still here and he was rocking it and stuff like that. Maybe it had that influence there. I'm not sure. But it's really become a meme. And you guys have all seen it, people taking a shower in the jackets and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to go too much into it. I mean, it's big. I've seen a lot of people buy the brand that I wouldn't even think that they would buy brands like that. And maybe they don't even live in climates like that, but they just want to participate, and they want to stand in the shower, you know? But that's what it is. So it's like Gorpcore / Arcteryx, really big. I'm not going to go too far, and we're going to move on. So next up, we have a lot of vests that I'm seeing that a lot of companies are making, and I know you're probably like, well, vests have always been around. You're not wrong, but I would say the look and the aesthetic of the vests that I'm seeing that a lot of brands that are making now are a little different than what we're used to, especially in the men's department. You have brands that are making a lot of like puffer type vests, maybe even tactical type vests, but not so tactical that you look like a freaking like a SWAT team. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe a little bit more on the plain side, logoless, of course. So a couple examples of this is going to be something like a Cold Wall. You have 7th Store, Riot Hill, Somar, Humkus. Like, these are all brands that are integrating the vest as like an accessory, but yet it's not so overbearing that it's something that you're not going to buy it and then like get rid of it the next day. You know, these are all, some of these looks look like something that you can still wear 5, 6, 7 years from now. And it still could, you know, be in style depending on how you dress, you know. So that's how I'm looking at it for now, because I'm saying that too because you guys remember like those tactical chest rigs. What was that, like 3-4 years ago? Like, that was big. I don't even know who put it on, and then it just became big. But like the chest rigs was like all over Instagram ads and stuff like that, and it felt like something when you saw it, you're like, I'll fucking kind of go. I might be able to work with that. And you might have like, maybe you might have copped one, and then like that next week, that next month, it's like, where's it at? You're not rocking it no more, you know. But I think the vest that I'm seeing now from these brands that I've just mentioned, again, is something that could last you a little bit longer, depending on how, you know, you put your style together. So fitteds, and a part of me is kind of like really kind of squinting because it's like, I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but and I'm not going to go too much on it, but of course I've talked about fitteds a lot on my channel, but fitteds have now evolved and gone to a new height that I would have never thought it would have gone to. First of all, fitted resale is ridiculous. I cannot find the original Frisco fitted all black with the orange logo, gray bottom, white lining for under $150 to almost $200. Like, it's hard to find it under $200 in my size, which is crazy because that used to be something that you can just go into the store and buy, kind of like all white Air Force Ones. But that's not the case anymore. And places like Hat Club and or Lids are now doing a lot more exclusive drops. As far as I've understand, in New York, people line up for the fitteds, and now it's come to a point that they have something called Fitted Con, where they actually have a whole convention for fitteds, which is nuts. That's crazy. All the power to you if you're into that and you like to sell fitteds and whatever. But I will say the past like 3 or 4 sneaker events that I've gone to go out and show my support, I've noticed that it's been like a 10% in the beginning. It was like 10% of the tables, the booths, were starting to turn into fitted booths. And then it became like 20%. Now it's like a blend. It's like vintage and sneakers and fitteds. And it's like, wow, like this market now it's gone to crazy heights. People don't even, there's a entirely new community of people that only buy fitteds, and they don't even buy anything. They don't really care about any other aspect of their fit. And I'm not saying that's bad. You're into what you're into, but I just didn't think it would go there. Anyways, you probably have seen it, whether it be TikTok, YouTube. It's insanely popular, and I'm just hoping that certain looks from the Y2K era comes back within fitteds, and hopefully it will. So yeah. In conjunction to fitteds, Y2K, this is something I've already brushed up on before, but Y2K, the actual trend itself, is still trending, and it's still big. Surprisingly, I thought it was just going to be something kind of phased in, phased out, but the people that have actually been taking it on, like full force, has definitely got to be the female side of like streetwear and stuff like that. And Y2K, the fashion trend of Y2K, in my opinion now, is that trend is alive because of resellers on Depop and Grailed. And my thoughts on it, love it, absolutely love it. I just, my brain lives in 2003 to 2009. What that's going to evolve into, I'm not particularly sure, but if I were to guess, it would definitely be the pop punk Y2K, because the hip hop side of Y2K has already had its resurgence. It hasn't peaked yet. It's there. It's up. It's pretty high up there. But when we talk about like pop punk or more so commercial alternative rock, and I'm already seeing more things that are leading to pop punk Y2K that is gaining more popularity. I mean, if you look at Lil Uzi, for whatever reason, he now has like this little bit of like a dash of pop punk style that he's dressing up in. And also I think it's Travis Barker, Machine Gun Kelly. It's like all these couples now are also dressing like it's back in Y2K, which is dope. You feel me? And I like the blend. I like the blend of the early 2000s, maybe a little bit of modern streetwear, vintage, and or modern vintage designer, all kind of combined into one thing. And that's kind of where we're at right now, so, but how popular pop punk Y2K is at this very moment, I don't know. We're gonna have to see in the next 6 months exactly how far people are going to be taking it, All right, so that pretty much sums up this video. I had a couple more that I was gonna go through that people have been kind of tossing my way when I asked them, and I'm gonna hold off though. Maybe we could do like another trends video for 2022, and things will change and evolve. I mean, we live in a time now where trends happen so quick. It's so fast. Even though people get up on here and then they get in the comments, they say, trends don't exist, bro. Whatever, wear whatever you want and whatever. You know what I mean? You want to be a keyboard warrior, you can go ahead and do that. But my point is that fashion trends happen so quickly now. It's hard to catch up, because sometimes some things come in so fast and then they just jet out and leave within 3 months. And then by me talking about it, it was kind of like, why did we even cover that? You know, some of the looks even of 2 years ago or a year ago aren't even here anymore. Which is crazy, because so many categories for fashion trends or just for fashion or streetwear are so popular now, and it keeps becoming a subcategory of a subcategory of a subcategory, that it just depends on where you fall. Yeah, you might start out with like the basis normcore style of something, but eventually you'll kind of wedge your way in between some kind of category or genre that you feel more comfortable in. And that's what it is, right? So that's why sometimes it's tough to make these types of videos, you feel me? So anyways, I'm done with this. If you can, leave in the comments something that you feel is popular, a brand that you think is popping off, a look that you feel is popping off right now. I'm always willing to hear it. And without dragging this on too long, it's your boy, It Ain't Easy. I'll see you next time. Peace.